We're talking Oregon State, though, and I wanted to read a couple of these thoughts. Just on a very interesting year for Trent Bray, where you're trying to be fair. The hand that he was dealt last year, nobody was going to win with that. Could they have been better? Should they have looked as bad as they did offensively against the likes of Air Force? Probably not. So there's truth on both sides of it, but also year two, you could feel a lot better about the program and him as a head coach if they have a nice bounce back year.
Absolutely.
A couple thoughts came in the fan text line where you can interact with us, 503-864-6326. So I'm saying I'm going 9-3, the minimum. Cal's going to be horrible this year. You get a true freshman week one coming into a sold-out Reeser with a ton of renewed energy. With Malik Murphy, I don't think they beat Texas Tech or Oregon.
Yeah.
I do think they drop a road game at the end of the season to Washington State. Somebody tells me you won't win that one in Pullman in late November. Every other game, though, you should be heavily favored to win. And then on top of that, somebody said, my Oregon State expectations are an ugly 8-4. Back half of the schedule's very light, but they're so thin roster-wise.
Yeah.
With quality depth, I wonder what the first 5 games of the schedule, injury-wise, could make the last 7 look like. Also at Texas Tech and at Oregon back-to-back weeks early in the season is rough. So 8-4, 9-3.
Yeah, barring injury, look, it kind of ruins the rivalry, which is why I understand why it's being played. It's tough to get the games back on the schedule once it's canceled, but it's what makes that Civil War rivalry kind of stupid to me now.
Do we have it? Is it on the books after this year? Oh. Or is this the last year for now?
I thought initially it was just a 2-year deal.
That's what I thought, too.
Back and forth.
Did I miss a future announcement?
Well, they're doing it for the fans' sake because there really isn't a benefit for, like travel. I guess to cut on travel for both programs, more so for Oregon because they're in the Big Ten and they got to go. Well, Oregon has to go to Rutgers this year.
They do?
So you cut on travel, whether it's in Reeser or Autzen.
I am not seeing it on the books in years to come. Their non-conference schedule is set for the next 3 years. Oregon State's not on it.
From a football standpoint, barring something insane happening, the reality is, if you're just being as honest as you can, that's going to be probably an ass whooping most years, and that's just not enjoyable. It's not,
especially at Autzen this year.
Yeah, I mean, but hopefully the quarterback plays better for Oregon State. 8-4, 9-3 is a coin flip. Like, what game did you win versus maybe what game did we think you would lose? Cal certainly on paper looks like one of those teams. I'm not going to completely dismiss the Cal opportunity there for the Bears to beat them again. There might be a wild card loss in there. To me, it was just about Jonathan leaving, and then you lose all these dudes to the portal. Your quarterback's gone. Both your quarterbacks are gone. You got to turn over and change coordinators as well. To me, it was about not just being having a bare cabinet. It was about like games that you just look like you weren't prepared for.
Yeah.
I think it's
just completely overmatched.
Yeah, if you lose to a bad-ish team by a field goal or a late touchdown, yeah, okay, that happens. Jonathan did that a couple times. He lost to a Colorado team that I thought they should have beaten in Colorado. Totally understand it. It's like just getting flat out embarrassed. And that was the alarming, like, whoa, that's not just a restart problem. That is what's going on with preparedness, what's going on with the offense, the defense is in.
Like, you've fallen that far below where Air Force is right now.
Like, Dirt,
it's a jarring reality.
I said it in the last segment, and I wanted to get the exact numbers because I didn't remember what the number was. Would you care to guess Oregon State's sack total last year?
Oh, God. Like, for team total sacks for the year?
Yes.
15?
7.
God,
quite literally dead last in college football.
Mateo Uiagalelei had more himself.
Mateo Uiagalelei in the Wisconsin game, I think it was the Wisconsin game, had 4. And at that point,
I think Oregon had 10 sacks against the Huskies in the last week of the season.
Yeah, that's what it. Well, either Mateo had as many as Oregon State had at that point in the Wisconsin game, but I remember that team-wise, they had 10 in a game, and that was, Oregon State had 7. The closest team to them is Mississippi State with 10.
You got to find a way to get more
dead
pressure.
last in all of the sport.
And that's playing in the SEC for one of them, and then Oregon State's schedule.
New Mexico
Got to be fair,
had
Air Force
11.
doesn't throw the ball, so one of your opponents didn't throw the ball at all. So that is going to limit your numbers, but that's horrible.
It doesn't matter.
7 in 11 games is horrible.
7 is inexcusable. So they need to generate a pass rush. It's interesting if you look at their depth chart, because they're not wrong, listeners, to point out the depth stuff. We know offensively, like, that unit better be better this year.
Yeah.
Defensively, as interesting is they didn't really lean heavily on the portal defensively. They brought in a total of 6 guys, but I would say 5 of those 6, depth chart-wise, are second or third string guys.
Sure, just depth pieces.
Just depth pieces in general. As I mentioned, the linebacker is really the only area, start-wise, they've got guys with experience.
Right.
Like, I'm not asking them to be lights out defensively. Their schedule kind of shakes out for them, in my opinion. But you've got experience this year. There's not really a lot of excuses that I'm going to lean on. This world of college football with the portal, when you can change the game at a number of key positions, offensive line, quarterback, within a year, the whole they were 6-6, which is technically better. That excuse doesn't hold water for me anymore, man. They should take a leap this year. Now, I don't have them beating Texas Tech.
Sure.
I don't have them beating Oregon.
Not asking for 10-2.
No. And 9-3 would be stellar. 8-4 is really good. 7-5 is okay.
Right.
6-6 is a one-game improvement technically, but I'm not going to look at that and be like, yeah, man, unreal projection that they're on right now, trajectory.
Yeah, I look at on their schedule, I would argue there's probably 8 or 9 games where I would imagine that they would be favored.
You're leaning picking them in them, yes.
Like Fresno State at home, I'd imagine you're favored in that just because it's at home.
I don't have knowledge on some of these programs either.
No,
Is
that's
App
totally
State supposed to be good this year?
I don't know the answer to that. Houston, I would imagine that's a game that, I'm just trying to circle games where I'm like, yeah, dude, I could see Oregon State winning that at the outset. Cal, I don't know what to make of because Wilcox has had years where we've kind of counted them out early, and then they go on the road and, win at Auburn in the first month of the season. You're like, Cal's doing that?
They
What?
were decimated by
Jaden Ott's gone. Yeah, their quarterback left for
Mendoza's
Indiana,
gone,
so they lost key pieces. I get it, but I'm also, there's a bit of a give him the benefit of the doubt because he's done it for a long time. But Fresno State, Houston, App State, Wake Forest is starting over with Dickert. Lafayette, I didn't even know was a college. Washington State twice, Sam Houston, and Tulsa. That's 8 games on your schedule. I'm like, yeah, you can win that game. That's a winnable game right there. Will they? I don't know because I would have told you at the outset last year, hey, you're playing Air Force in October. That's a game that you should probably win, and then things at the side of a mountain. I just think the base level of having quarterback play is going to help them tremendously. And you don't need Malik Murphy to come out and be, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. You just being able to functionally throw the ball throughout the course of the season is already a better spot than you were offensively last year. And we know that they're going to want to run the football. We know that they're good at that position. Their offensive line historically has been good as a program.
Yeah.
And so if you just get if you get what Malik Murphy did last year at Duke, which was
2,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Not blowing your socks off, but it's not terrible.
60% completion percentage.
That's not great. You want that to be a little bit up, especially for college football. But you would imagine just a year of development, he's slightly better. So you give me 30 touchdowns, 10 picks for Malik Murphy, very similar to what he did last year. Dude, that's a 7-8 win team right there, based on what you have elsewhere around him. Because they won 5 games last year and had maybe the worst quarterback play in the entire country. It was horrible. McCoy thought he's the guy at the start. No, and then they had to put in the Johnson kid. He couldn't throw a football.
Had to go back to Go Branson.
And then he had to go back to Go Branson, who somehow, some way beat Washington State near the end of the season, which is still one of the funnier things of their entire year, where everything crumbled and they put Go Branson in and they scored 40 and beat the Cougs at home.
Is he playing at Stanford or he transferred to Stanford for medical school? I couldn't remember what it was.
If he's playing at Stanford, Stanford's got some issues. No offense to Ben
They
Gulbranson.
fired their coach 2 months ago, Dirt. I
that
would
is
tell
true.
you they do have issues.
They do have a lot of issues. You're fair in that point. So expectations for Oregon State all over the map, but still a nice reset year and opportunity for Bray. If you win 8 or 9 games this year,
yeah,
and then you're like, okay,
you weathered the storm.
We can breathe.
Yeah.
Next year the Pac-12 starts.
Agreed.
If we win the conference, we could go to the college football playoff. Then that future reality and this weird no man's land that you've been in for the last year and a half is gone. You feel totally different. You go 4-8, 5-7 this year. You're asking some pretty serious.
You take a step back this year and there's massive injury. There needs to be a real conversation of how quick do you pivot out?
It's a big year in that regard. Yeah. Nobody's saying hot seat, any of that kind of nonsense, but just a big year to settle everybody down.
4-8 should be a hot seat. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that I would tend to agree with you there.